Bleach X. That time I got reincarnated as a slime by HollowKnight. Part 52. A annoying demon lord Rimuru jumps into the sky to see who it is. Seeing a familiar black robe is stopped when something gets in front of him and begins yelling at him. Rimuru. There you are, Rimuru. Oh, for the love of all things, why? Rimuru. You've missed a Walpurgis, Rimuru. But I wasn't able to. Rimuru. I already know, duh, that's why I am here. We got enough strength to have somebody cross over here. Rimuru. Either, in other words, she jumped in Beretta's hand and told him to jump. Rimuru. You should count yourself lucky I managed to get them to calm down and let you go, and Milam less so because she came after the Walpurgis was announced. Rimuru. Okay, calm down, come on, let's go. Rimuru. Where? Rimuru. My old home. Where I'm staying right now. Rimuru follows Rimuru, talking non-stop as Rimuru just ignores her. Arriving back at the house, Diablo opens the door for Rimuru as he and Rimuru, who is now on his shoulder talking, walk through. Diablo and Beretta look at one another. Diablo entering the house and Beretta entering and closing the door. Rimuru. We have guests, so don't try anything. Rimuru and the others walk by as Shining, who tried to jump attack Rimuru, but Diablo tossed him into the ceiling. Milam is down, stares eating with the others as she spots Rimuru. Milam. Oh, it's just you. Rimuru begins to yell at Milam, who continues to gloat her as Rimuru charges are. Milam, who moves her head to the side. Rimuru hitting the wall and looking back at Milam, who eats a star-shaped carrot. Rimuru. Rimuru is too busy arguing with Milam to notice Rimuru saying anything. Rimuru sighs at this. Time skip. The next day, Rimuru and the others have gone to Urahara shop. Rimuru. I see you've packed almost everything. Rimuru looks into a room with an open door, seeing a bunch of computers. Kazuki. The Senkimon will take a little while longer, so I have time. More importantly, I've called you here because Hollows disappeared last night and it wasn't a Soul Reaper. Rimuru. Hollows disappearing. Hasil. It is likely Rimuru and Beretta who made the Hollows disappear. Rimuru. Yeah. That makes sense. Rimuru looks at Kazuki. Rimuru. I wouldn't worry about it, Kazuki. What, why not? Rimuru. I probably know who did it and she's in here. Kazuki looks at Rimuru in shock, looking at the girls as they all hold up their arms in a X shape before he looks back at Rimuru, who points towards Vendora, who is laying on the mats reading manga. Looking beside him, Kazuki sees a little fairy reading manga as well. Kazuki. Is that fairy? Rimuru. She's a demon lord, but fairy works, yeah. Kazuki looks at Rimuru, trying to comprehend what he's been told, but with all the things he's learned from what Rimuru has told him, he decides to just try and roll with it. Kazuki. And what is she doing here? Rimuru. Oh, that. Yeah, I may need that Senkimon a little faster than what we thought. Kazuki. But there's just a little under a week to go. Rimuru. Yeah, but I missed a wall meeting between demon lords. Kazuki. I see a meeting, then I'll see what I can do, but it may only be spread up by a few days. Rimuru. That's fine if that's all. I think I'll be going. Orheim walks into the shop. Orheim. Oh, how you wanted me here for something, Mr. Urahara. Kazuki. Don't worry about it, it's not important now. Orheim. Oh, I see. Rimuru. Hey, Orheim. Oh, hi, Rimuru. Rimuru and the others are up and about to leave. Orheim. Rimuru. Rimuru looks back at Orheim. Rimuru. Yeah, what's up? Orheim. I have some bread if you would like some. Rimuru. Bread? Orheim. Yes, Rimuru. Sure, let's go. Do you need to go get it? I'll come with you. Orheim. Oh yes, I could just bring it to you. Rimuru. No, it's fine, I'll be back at the house in a little. Shion. But Rimuru-sama. Rimuru. I'll be okay, I promise. Shion. But Rimuru-sama, I want to go. Rimuru. Well. Shion is dragged away by Chloe, who winks at Orheim as Curl comes out of Rimuru and helps drag Shion away as Rimuru tilts his head. Rimuru and Orheim walk out of Urahara shop. Part 53. Assassins. Rimuru and Orion are walking together. Orheim asking Rimuru about the things he's been through as Rimuru tells her about his time as Satoru and how he became Rimuru Tempest as Orheim begins to smile as she looks at Rimuru. Orheim. Even in his life after Ichigo, he was still a good person, and even now. It's just who you are, isn't it? You're a good person right to your soul. I'm glad you haven't changed much at all. You even seem happier. 2 Get to the deli. Orheim asking Rimuru to wait outside as she goes in and gets the bread coming out with a basket full of bread. Rimuru looks at the basket. Rimuru. Do you need help carrying that? Orheim. Oh no, I can handle it, don't worry. Rimuru. If you're sure. Orheim laughs a little as the 2 begin to walk. Rimuru is handed a piece of bread by Orheim as he bites into it. Rimuru and Orion are happily munching on bread as they both hear the sounds of a hollow roaring. Going to see what is happening, they arrive to see somebody killed the hollow. Looking around, Rimuru sees nothing but warehouse and a few trees. Orheim. But it just arrived here. Rimuru begins looking around. Rimuru. Seal. Husband, perhaps it wasn't Ramirez and Beretta. I apologize for my mistake. Rimuru. Don't worry about it. Ask Ramirez how many hollows she and Beretta fought. Seal. Hi. Seal. She says 100 but Beretta states that there was 2. Rimuru. I see. Wait. Flashback. Uryu. We use this, it's hollow bait. Flashback end. Rimuru eyes shoot wide open. Rimuru. Is this a trap to get my attention? It's possible. As the Soul King, it would be my business if somebody kills hollows without using a Zanpakuto, but then what do they want? Rimuru looks around as he feels something coming for his back. Turning around to see himself defended by a shield, and the person who attacked is blasted back by the shield. Rimuru. That's really cool. Rimuru looks at the person who attacked him to see what looks like an assassin. Rimuru. So who are you? The assassin does not reply. He only gazes at Rimuru as he raises his sword ready to try and kill Rimuru again. Orheim grabs her hairpins. Orheim. I won't let you. Rimuru. Sai figures you wouldn't say anything. I don't want to fight. I would prefer if we could maybe talk, but that won't be happening, so let's do this already. Rimuru walks forward as he looks back at Orion, who nods, getting the message. She is in charge of defense if it's needed. Orheim is happy even if she may not be needed in this fight. Rimuru is trusting her to have his back. When he was Ichigo, he would always try and send them all away so he could do it himself. She can finally help. Rimuru rushes forward at the assassin as another appears behind Rimuru as Orheim uses her shield to defend him as the second assassin is blasted back. Meanwhile, Kazuki feels the increase in power from the 2 of them as he leaves his candy shop. Meanwhile, Soul Society detected the fighting as the new guard have been sent to defend Rimuru just in case. Back for the fight, Rimuru has bitch-slapped the assassin using his abilities to make it feel like he's been slapped in the face at the exact same place for an entire week. As the assassin flies into a tree, breaking it in 2. Looking back, Rimuru sees Orheim actual fighting the second assassin using karate as Rimuru looks interested in that, not remembering Orheim able to fight like this. Orheim. Stop this, we can talk. Orheim waits for a reply, getting nothing other than the assassin raising his blade. Orheim decides to wait for the assassin to try and strike her. As he does, she uses her shield to deflect the attack and send it right back at the assassin as he goes flying and hits a building, crashing into it. Orheim. I said to stop. Rimuru. Nice one. Rimuru walks forward as he uses webs to keep both the assassin from escaping. Rimuru. Now I have a few questions. Rimuru says this as his own group all appear. Seal merging back into Rimuru as the assassin Rimuru was fighting looks up, glaring at him. To be continued.